When we talk about AI agents, the conversation can get pretty complex fast. We're often thinking about these huge futuristic ideas. But what if I told you one of the most valuable, practical uses of AI is already here? And it's something we all use every single day. I'm talking about the AI that answers the phone. Let's get into it. If you've ever run a business, this probably sounds way too familiar. Just picture Sarah, a salon owner. She's amazing at her job, which means she's always busy. But that also means her phone is ringing off the hook and she's losing her mind. Some calls are spam, some are simple questions about hours, and buried in all that noise are actual clients trying to give her money. Every ring is an interruption, and it's a gamble. And that's exactly where this technology comes in. An AI voice agent is specifically designed to take all of that chaos and turn that frustrating guessing game into a super smooth, efficient process. So the main thing to get here is that this isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. It's a real solution that's working right now. To really get this, we kind of have to think about it in a new way. So forget about those clunky old press one for sales phone menus or simple chatbots. Let's actually talk about what's going on under the hood. Okay, here's the simplest way to define it. An AI agent is a system that can think, remember, and this is the important part, take action. I really like to think of them as a digital employee. They can reason through a problem and then actually do something about it, not just spit out text in response to a prompt. And what's so wild is that every single AI agent, no matter how complicated it seems, is really just built from three core pieces. First, you've got the brain. That's an AI model, like GPT, that does all the thinking. Second, it needs memory, right? So it can remember what you just said. And finally, you give it tools. These are the real-world things it can do, like actually booking that appointment in a calendar. So what makes a voice agent any different? Well, it's surprisingly simple. As you can see right here, it's built on that exact same foundation: a brain, a memory, and tools. The only difference is this extra voice layer that's wrapped around the whole thing. It's what lets the agent talk instead of type. And that voice layer, it just works in a simple loop. When you talk, it turns your voice into text for the agent's brain to read. The brain figures out what to say back, and then another part of the layer turns that text response back into audio, so you hear it as a voice. That simple little cycle unlocks the entire world of phone communication for AI. So yeah, the tech is pretty clever, but why does adding a voice matter so much? Well, because it taps into one of the most universal and honestly high-stakes ways that businesses talk to customers. And that creates a massive, massive opportunity. The scale we're talking about here is just staggering. We're talking hundreds of millions of phone calls hitting businesses every single day. They are literally drowning in them, which means a huge new industry is popping up for AI voice agents that can manage all of this. Okay, let's jump back to Sarah at her salon for a second. Her problem isn't unique, right? It's the default for millions of small business owners. She's in the middle of a haircut, her hands are full of scissors and hair dye, and she has absolutely no idea if the call coming in is a new $100 client or just someone trying to sell her more insurance. And these are the problems businesses are paying real money to solve right now. Think about it. An AI receptionist that can answer calls and book appointments 24/7. An agent that can handle lead qualification, calling a potential customer back just seconds after they fill out a form on your website. It can provide instant customer support for common questions and even automate appointment reminders so people actually show up. For a business like Sarah's, the change is it's dramatic. Look at this side by side. Before, she was only available 9 to 5. Now, her front desk is open 24/7, 365. Before, she could only handle one call at a time. Now, the agent can handle tons of calls at once. It gets rid of human error, it filters spam automatically, and it never puts a customer on hold. It's a total game changer. And that is exactly why businesses are willing to invest. Small businesses all over the world are paying anywhere from $5,000 all the way up to $50,000 to get these systems built. Why? Because the return on investment is immediate and it's crystal clear. They make more money, they cut costs, and they make fewer mistakes. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. This sounds incredibly technical, like you need a team of engineers. But here's the real truth. You don't need to be a programmer to get how these things are built, or even to build one yourself. Seriously, the barrier to entry here has just completely collapsed. A lot of the new tools are made for everyday people to use. You don't have to write a single line of code, you just need to give the agent a few core instructions that provide it with knowledge, skills, and a personality. So what are those three things? It's pretty simple. First, you give it knowledge. You can literally just upload a document with your business hours, your services, your prices. Second, you give it skills by connecting it to tools it can use, like a Google Calendar, so it can see when you're free. And third, you give it a personality and a mission by writing a simple prompt that tells it how to act and what its rules are. So let's bring this all back to Sarah's salon. For her agent, the knowledge is just a simple doc with her prices. The skill is its ability to plug into her calendar and book a very specific service. And the personality is a set of instructions telling it, hey, be friendly, be helpful, but if a caller gets really frustrated or has a super complex problem, transfer them straight to my cell phone. It's how these three things, knowledge, skills, and personality, work together that really brings this digital employee to life. Okay, so as we start to wrap this up, what's the big takeaway here? What does this whole shift really mean for the way business gets done?
Look, at the end of the day, this isn't just about automating a few tasks or saving a couple of hours. This is about giving every single business, no matter how small, a perfect, tireless front desk. One that never gets sick, never takes a vacation, and never, ever misses a call. It is a fundamental upgrade to how a business can operate.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. What would actually change for you or for your business if you could answer every single call perfectly and instantly forever? The technology to make that happen isn't in the future anymore. It's here right now, and it's calling.